As I sit on the bed.
I am a mother and I am a grandmother. I am visiting my beautiful daughter and my cutest little baby grandson, Heath.
The tiniest voice starts to bellow and cry.
Look at him.
She's like a real baby now.
She died of heart failure, and she went into prison on that Friday. She was on daily medication for high blood pressure and bipolar disorder, and she was not given any of her medications. She also, when they interviewed her cellmate, the cellmate had said that 12 hours before she died, she was complaining about pain radiating from her foot to her heart, and that a corrections officer and a nurse came in and told her to go back to sleep, and that a psychiatric doctor would be there in the morning. And the doctor never came in the morning, and then they found her dead. I'm sitting in church, and it just hit me really heavy that she's a mother. Like, I knew it all along, but like, I was thinking, like, these kids now have no mother. And you just like know how important your own mother is. And it's like, this mother was taken away because she didn't have money. Somebody's got to do something about this. And there were plenty of articles in the local newspaper, and they really covered it well. But there wasn't the kind of outrage you would expect from the general public. And so I had gotten together with a few people that I knew who would be interested, and we started a letter writing campaign to the letters to the editor to the Reading Eagle. And in general, circulating the petition has been really successful. If people will take the time to stop to talk to you, which most of them will, a lot of people know of the case, almost everybody will sign. Of course, you run into a few people who think, that the right thing was done and that we can't let these people get away with not sending their children to school. A district justice who one of the men in our group spoke with said that he tried to approach the district justices and get a moratorium, and there's 5 or 6 of them that definitely are not on board with that, and they feel like they need fines in their toolbox, is what they said. So, and fines and imprisonment for failure to pay fines in their toolbox. Yeah. And on September 22nd, there's going to be a hearing in the House Education Committee, which is where the bill is kind of being held hostage, if you will. So it has to get out of the House Education Committee to be voted on. But in the meantime, Representative Tom Caltagirone, who, to his credit, before Eileen DiNino died, he was trying to decriminalize truancy and parking fines. Tom Caltagirone is in the Judiciary Committee, so he put a measure through to send this to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, asking them to make a ruling to say that there has to be a moratorium on putting people who are unable to pay fines into jail until this law is looked at. If we can get them to make a good ruling on that and basically force the district justices to stop that practice, that basically is passage of that law. And they totally want to take away fines, which would mean even rich people are not going to get fines, which is kind of cool because that's going to make it the same for everybody. If you have this problem, you're doing community service or you're going to parenting classes. I think it's important that this isn't only about truancy, that this is about all fines, and that it also becomes about court fees. And so if you are going to fine poor people, you shouldn't make it impossible, literally impossible for them to pay. We've spoken with the family, and all reports are that she was a wonderful mother and well-loved and a great neighbor and a really good person. And now she's gone.
As I sit on the end of this dirty old bar, trying to work some things out, not getting too far. And as I drown out the voices that are keeping me down, there's a muse all alone on the other side of town. If I was thinking, I'd be thinking, thank God, whoever you are, for all the whiskey in this dirty old bar. In times like these, so sad but so true, and thinking's the last